What we rep, Lafayette, Jeff, Broncos, let's go. All cash, no brakes, LJ for air, let's play. What we rep, Lafayette, Jeff, Broncos, let's go. All cash, no brakes, LJ for air, let's play. What we rep, Lafayette, Jeff, Broncos.
Welcome to episode 12, week 12, sectional championship edition of the All Gas No Brakes podcast. Obviously, never take wins for granted. Another win, Coach.
Yeah. Tip your cap to McCutcheon. Those guys played really hard, and they came out and played us much differently schematically than we saw week 3. But they're fired up, man. They've got some good seniors and some good underclassmen who really take pride in playing the game of football. And fortunately for us, our defense was lights out and played really well. Offensively, we made plays when we had to, and special teams. Although we weren't perfectly sharp, we played well enough to where they didn't really hurt us in that phase. So it was definitely a team win. But yeah, thank goodness that Coach Kronk and our defensive players came out on their A game, because we certainly needed it.
Yeah, just getting the offense here. Tristan statistically had a great game, 21 for 34, 2 touchdowns. Yeah,
he played well. We had some uncharacteristic drops, and there were a few times where, going back watching the tape, where Tristan, maybe was trying to push and force the ball down the field a little bit, which I think, anytime you're kind of stagnant, I can see why you want to do that, because you're trying to get everything rolling all at once. But he all year he's done a great job of taking what the defense is giving us. But there were 3 plays on Friday night where he did not do that, and those are 3 that he wishes he had back. So statistically, 21 of whatever you said, 34. You take away the 5 drops, and you take 3, what I would say, likely completions, and we look much better in the passing game as well. But tip your cap too, because again we weren't super crisp in the pass game. We weren't real sharp in the run game in the first half, but our second half, our offensive line and our backs really started to assert themselves. We kind of leaned on them a lot, and fortunately they came to play and made some good adjustments, and we controlled the football in the second half.
And also, technically, Omar 1 for 1, 100% with the trick play there.
Yeah, we call that one the Sheets special. Coach Sheets used to be a freshman coach here at Jeff, and he was notorious for double passes, trick plays, and things like that. He's a good dude. So that one would tip our cap to him. Omar came through with the Sheets special, and we've practiced that, for 2 years, and it showed up. We got to finally call it in a game, and it was a critical play at a critical time.
Yeah, I just see Omar stop in the middle there, and I'm like, oh, this isn't a jet sweep, and he just launches that thing to tell
Omar used to play quarterback in middle school, right? That dude, he can sling it. He's got an arm, but yeah, at Tecumseh, that dude was playing quarterback. So, we know he can throw. We got a few more those types of plays in our hip pocket, but we're not going to discuss that right now. But he can throw it around a little bit. Yeah.
And then the rushing game, obviously, second half, big improvement. Marquise, 30 carries, 128.
Marquise ran hard, and he's a bowling ball, and he's short, so he kind of hides behind our big offensive line and kind of pops out a few times. So he's not I wouldn't say he's a home run hitter, but that dude can hit singles, and he gets on base. You know what I'm saying? So he's really good about keeping the chains moving, and real patient runner, and finding the seams and hitting it. And he's got that little sudden burst. But yeah, man, he was consistent and played well, ran the ball well. We really leaned on him on Friday night.
And that offensive line just getting that push on those 3rd and 1s, those 4th and 1s to really kind of separate themselves later in that game.
Yeah, the being down on the 1 yard line and getting stuffed certainly leaves a bad taste in your mouth. Again, Coach Cruz at halftime, did a good job of making some adjustments, recognizing, why certain things weren't hitting. Again, they came out and did some things a little bit differently than what we've seen. But again, to our guys' credit, they made the adjustments. But those 2 times down inside the 10, and we had a drop for a touchdown. We had another drive where we get down to the 1. You got to be able to push it in there. We got to be sound. We got to be able to stay low with our pad level, and we got to be able to punch those in. So leaving 14 points out there on the board, again, you got to give credit to our opponent, but we certainly wish we could have those opportunities back.
And then Tavares and Omar with the 2 receiving touchdowns in the game.
Yep. Yeah. Both those guys are dynamic in the passing game. So yeah, it was good. But honestly, we need to talk about the defense, Moody.
Yeah, we need to the defense.
Yeah, the defense. Man,
Wow.
I think we held them under 40 yards. We shut out a county rival. We played them twice this year and didn't give up a point. They had 0 plays of over 20 yards. I think that was an outstanding performance by our defense and our defensive staff.
Is that one of the best defensive performances you've seen as head coach at Jeff?
Yeah, I mean, it was critical. I don't know. I hate to play the comparison game. We got a group, a team and a defense that really enjoys playing football together and is really coachable. So we got another test this week with the Cats. They're playing much better football. They're really efficient in the passing game. They're starting to find their footing in the run game as well. Seems like personnel, they've changed around a little bit up front. So we've got our hands full. I don't know. I mean, we'll have time to reflect later, and compare performances. But we were proud of how our defense played against a county rival in the playoffs.
And obviously, the individual stats like 12 TFLs, 5 sacks, 10 hurries. That's just fantastic overall.
Yeah,
defense.
And again, they came out. We hadn't seen a whole lot of triple option, 2-back stuff from them throughout the season, and they came out and did some stuff differently than what they had shown previously. That obviously, if we don't see it on film leading up to that game, we're not going to practice against that, right? So for our defense to go out there and hold a team to 40 yards when they come out schematically trying to do something different than they had shown previously, I think that's we got some dudes with some high football IQ, and we got coaches who are able to recognize what's going on and get their guys coached up on the sideline on the fly. So. Individually there were a lot of good performance, but you don't hold a team to 40 yards, 0 points without a great team performance as a unit.
And then on to the next unit here, special teams. Bobby Hoffman with a great game.
We haven't punted a lot this year, knock on wood, but Bobby comes through clutch when he's called upon. He had 2, I think he pinned down inside the 20. A couple more, I think he got up there in the wind, and the wind carried it a little bit further than he had hoped. But, yeah, man, he's an elite punter. He's one of the best punters in the state. I think he's averaging over 38 yards a punt right now. More impressive is his hang time. That dude, when he gets a hold of it, that thing can hang up there. And it's left-footed, so it just kind of – guys that catching it, they don't seem real comfortable catching it. It just comes off the foot different, and it's harder to judge than maybe what you're used to with a right-footed punter. But, yeah, Bobby played well, and then the guys protected well for him. Nate's snaps were on point. That unit had a good night.
Had 2 almost get pinned in the 1 there. Just this, literally
Real close.
milliseconds away. Parker and Nate getting down there, obviously flying down.
Yeah, that group takes pride in doing their job. Yep. So, yeah, we certainly wish we could have pinned them on the 1. But, hopefully we don't have to punt too much. But when we do, we certainly want to pin them back deep.
Now it's on to conference rival, Kokomo Wildcats, sectional championship.
We talked about this last time. Caleb Small is a really good football coach. He's got a state championship pedigree. His first year as a head coach was at Northwestern. Last year, where Coach T is at now, he won there, and that's historically been a tough place to win at. So I think that speaks volumes to the quality of coach that Coach Caleb Small is. So, so continuing kind of down that road, obviously this guy's won state championships. He's going to be able to assess our Week 7 game. And to think that they'll just come out and play us the same as they did Week 7, I think would be foolish. They're going to come out with some adjustments. And again, their players are going to come out. They're going to be fired up to play. It's playoff football. We're playing for a title. We're playing for a trophy, right? So we're going to get everybody's best shot. And we hope that we're prepared and that we're going to give our best shot as well. But it's a big game. Like you said, not county rival, but conference rival. We played them 3 times in the last 365 days, so obviously, both teams are very familiar with each other. So it's going to be a great atmosphere for high school football. We hope We hope that that the Bronco Nation shows up just like they did last week, Moody. I mean, that crowd that we had at McCutcheon was fantastic. The energy, the noise, I don't know what they're doing for noise, but it was loud and it was awesome. And I tell you, for our kids out there on the field, that's incredible, right? To feel supported, to feel like you got a whole community behind you. You know, you look back, you peek back. I had read somewhere that people had to go sit on the McCutcheon sideline because it was standing room only on our sideline, in our stands, right? So we certainly need Bronco Nation. We're asking for Bronco Nation to show up at Kokomo on Friday night, support these guys. It's a group that we can get behind. It's a group that we should be proud of. Not only do they play the game the right way, but in the classroom, in the school, these guys are carrying themselves the right way. They deserve to be supported. So come on out Friday night, Bronco Nation.
And then obviously, it is just one of those stadiums that's just it's a high school environment. It's the Castle, probably one of the coolest stadiums I've ever played at, other than maybe Michigan City.
Yeah, just from an aesthetic standpoint, it looks really, really cool. Yeah, so, for our kids to be able to go play, and, we've been fortunate to play at different places that are really, really cool over the years, and Kokomo's certainly right at the top of the list. It's a great environment for high school football.
And obviously, now we're on to this player spotlight, one of my favorite segments. And obviously, we're going to shout out that whole defense. That was just a shutout performance. Never once, getting down on the offense. They were always hype. The whole thing, and that's what I got to give them. Never once they're like, oh, we got to go out there. I remember Aiden and Diego saying, well, we get to go back out there and go play. Yeah. It's very nice to see.
Yeah, it's a group that loves playing football together. They sometimes drive me nuts. Sometimes they drive Coach Cronk nuts. Sometimes they drive Coach OGD nuts, because anytime they're around each other, you can tell they love being together, right? So they're going to play hard for each other. They're going to pursue to the football together, right? They're going to do things that their coaches are asking them together, right? So, yeah, it's a good group. You look at, you go back over the course of the season and you look at scores when our first team's defense is out there, they've played at a high level. Statistically speaking, they've put up some good numbers. Now, again, it's a test because it's playoff football, and it's not going to be easy. Again, you're going against a coach who won a state championship as an assistant coach, offense coordinator at Ben Davis, right? So this guy's going to find different ways to attack us than what he did week 7. So it's a great test for our defense, and it's a great test for our team. Yep,
and I'm ready for it.
Yeah, amen,
sectional championship. I mean, you are the most successful coach for the longest time. You have 2 sectional championships in 3 years. Is that a big deal for you?
It's boxes that you want to check, Mood, right? So we've had a great staff. We've got a great administration here at Jeff that really understands education-based athletics. We want to deliver championships for our community. We feel like our community deserves it, right? So you see the crowd at McCutcheon. You see the crowd at Schumann Stadium, week after week, and the noise that they make and the support that they provide us, the businesses that provide meals for our kids, man. Our community deserves a team that's going to go out there and play hard every Friday night, and that's going to give their best every Friday night. Jeff is a really special place. Winning is important here. Winning's important here. Winning this time of year is important here. So to say, anything, I'm not even sure if I'm answering your question, but, we want to check boxes. We want to win the conference. We want to win the county. We want to win championships. We want to put pictures on a wall that are going to last a lifetime. Yep. It's important.
Yep. And thank you guys, as always. Thank you for showing out, and thank you for always watching this podcast on this episode of the AGNB Podcast Sectional Championship Edition. Now make sure you like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon from 5. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go Broncos!
What we rep, Lafayette Jeff, Broncos, let's go. All cash, no brakes, LJ for air. Let's play. What we rep, Lafayette Jeff, Broncos, let's go. All cash, no brakes, LJ for air. Let's play. What we rep, Lafayette Jeff, Broncos,